Ipsatised results. You can see if a report has been Ipsatised from the Candidates tab. If you scroll down the right hand side, anything that's noteworthy about the results is highlighted there with a red triangle, and Ipsatisation is one of those things. If we click on this, it gives you the level of Ipsatisation, so this is +2. Now the word Ipsatised comes from a Latin root, and it's about being resolved within the self rather than comparison with others. So what we're doing with this whole process is artificially adding scores to someone's results to make them look better than they actually are. And we're doing that for good reason. We're doing that to preserve ego, and because we really should be focusing on the shape rather than the level of scores. And if scores are very low, it can quite often distract from a positive feedback. And this follows the basic psychological premise that you do no harm in your work. So when we're looking at an Ipsatised report, the first thing you'd normally do is click on the advisor's summary. And what this will do will show you the level of Ipsatisation, so it's +2, we've seen that before. And it will also remove the percentile scale at the bottom and change the main scale. For most students it's going to say average. For reports which are Ipsatised it will say medium. Now because the results are +2, the actual scores were 3, 6, 5, 5, 9. And the decision about how much inflation is put onto those bars is based on a formula, which is as follows. Firstly, you ignore the lowest score. So in this case we'd ignore verbal, and then we check to see if any individual score is above 12. In this case, no. So we then take the remaining scores and we add them up and divide by 4. And that gives us 25 divided by 4, 6.25. So what we then do is we take those scores and we inflate them so they're halfway from what they are to population average, which is 10. So you're basically adding about 2, given a bit of rounding there, which is why it says +2. Now you can't turn Ipsatisation off. It's just been decided that it's a safe way of presenting data and reducing the chance that negative impacts come from having low scores for students. When we close this down and have a look at the report itself, I'll go in as the individual. We go to the Profile tab. There's nothing about Ipsatisation here, including in the text. The text hasn't changed. So the text is the same. We're not inflating anything with the text in terms of level. All we do is we change the scale and remove the percentile. It's normally interesting when you come to the Careers tab, because the system will use the aptitude test scores to give us a starter in terms of academic attainment. So this individual's getting Vet Cert 3, VCAL Senior as a suggestion. And one of the things a careers advisor will always do is go through and change this. So they might say, well, if you did do an ATAR, what would happen? And if you didn't fancy an apprenticeship, you wanted to go into work, what might you do? In a module.